see the best side. And this isn't going to be a kumbaya undercover what's in Smith's head delivery. But I will tell you that one of my parents has been very negative through her life. Okay? My parents has taken on more of a negative thing, and it's always the glass is half empty, it's never half full. If you're one of those people, and I was raised that way, and I became one of those people before my illness, don't be. Life has too much to offer you, not only in this stuff that we're doing, not only in the leadership domain, but the life domain. I mean, two of our people got engaged while we've been together here. I mean, that's something to celebrate. That's something good. Find the good stuff. See the best side of people. Emerson said this. He said, every man's entitled to be valued by his best moments. And if we lead people that way, if Sandy goes into the rest of her leadership life and she looks at every person has the right to be valued by their best moment, their best side, and we're going to be in good shape. Another thing that belongs to this relational compounding here, I'm going to implore you as we discuss, relate to people on a heart-to-heart basis before you relate to them on a mind-to-mind basis. Because we work in the education business. We work in the field of education. Relate to people first on heart-to-heart. Then get into the mind-to-mind thing. Because we deal with so many intellectual things and so many educational things. You know, it's kind of an old adage. To understand the mind of a person, you look at what he's already achieved. That's what mind stuff does. It achieves things. And we talked about that, goal orientations and leadership. But to understand the heart of a person, look what they want to do. Look at the rest of the path. Look where they want to go. Then you're going to see the heart of a person. That goes back to that passion. Okay? Really familiar adage. Build bridges, not walls. I believe that. After 25 years of this crazy leadership stuff, I believe it. Build bridges and not walls. Because you know what? You're going to have the opportunity to do both. You're going to have an option to do both. You're going to be able to build all the walls you want to build or all the bridges you want to build. Newton said, people are lonely because they build walls rather than bridges. John Lennon had an album, early album, one of my guys. Walls and Bridges was the name. Keep that in mind. Try to give, and this is the season for this, dovetails right in. Try to give in your leadership walk, in your personal walk. Try to give more than you receive. Try to give more than you receive. I'm going to tell you something. Keeping score is not for friends. We just talked about friends. Keeping score is for games. It is not for friendships. All right? Try to absorb this. And the last thing I would say about relationships is live for other people. Live for other people. When we talk about the difference between being successful, living a successful life as a professional, as a leader, as a person, successful people have accomplished things that are driven by themselves. They're driven for themselves. People of significance go beyond the successful realm. And there's nothing wrong with success. You've heard me say that before. But people that are significant, that's what we're talking about. I'm going to speak to the legacy in a moment. People that are significant go beyond success, go beyond the personal, and they share it. They give it away freely. They give it away. That's what happened in my own leadership walk. I coveted stuff. There were years I coveted things. I want to give it all away except that. We talked about that concept. That's not good enough. Once you taste success, you'll want more. You'll want the dessert. And the dessert of success is significance, where people are going to recognize what you did, the contributions you made, the people you grew, the person you were for all, years after you're gone. That's significance. That's where you want to be. Because once you taste significance, you will not want any success anymore. Believe me on that. Live for other people. Selfishness is a destructive disease. It has unpleasant symptoms. The second thing that compounds, we've talk about it the entire semester. That is influence. Who can tell me? What's influence? Influence is?
People do what people see.
Yeah, we got a lot of those things, that's right. Leadership is influence, and influence is getting people where you want them to be in a way that they feel they need to be there, okay? I want to share a couple of things with you, just a couple of. Jim Collins, you ever heard of Jim Collins? Collins and Porras, they written a lot of leadership books in the 90s and bridging the new century. Jim Collins says this, he says that, now listen, just grab hold of this, this is incredible. He says the total number of philosophers who are significant in world history, in other words, the big hitters in world history are approximately 135 to 500 persons. In all of world history, known world history, the people that have been significant, have changed the landscape of the entire world, have numbered between 135 and 500 people. Look at all the billions of people that have occupied the earth. He says the smaller number, if we take only the major figures in each world civilization, the larger one if we include the secondary figures. He said even if we add the minor figures in all of the networks, in all of the civilizations, the total people that have impacted the world since it's been the world, 2,700 people. So what he's saying here is in sum, a total of between 150 and 3,000 people, and 23 billion people have inhabited this earth since 600 AD. 150 to 3,000 people have framed the contours of world civilization. Now I'm asking you this. Spent a whole semester together. Isn't that enough reason for you to pursue leadership? I think that's a good reason for you to pursue leadership and leading people in the right way. Lead people in the right way. Is you've got the opportunity to impact people. It could be San Antonio to pigeonhole you there. It could be the country, it could be the state. There's a young guy that's the mayor of this town, and I think he's being groomed. He's strategically grooming himself, and others are grooming him for big things. It could be at one of these days, that person's not going to be acknowledged. That's not going to be where he tips out, where he tops out. I'm not going to be the mayor of San Antonio forever. It could be Senate job. It could be something bigger than that. You're not excluded from that bus. Start leading. Do the things you're supposed to do and do them right. Good things will happen. Number 3, on perspective. Look at things on perspective. Some thoughts. Being an old man now, I believe this. It hurt when I was a young one, but now I believe life can only be lived what? Forward. But it can only be understood backwards. That's it. We have to step day after day after day. We have to go forward. But we learn the best when we look back. We learn the best when we look back. So let's live it forward, but look backward and reflect and learn what we need to learn. Look at everything as though you're seeing it for the first time. When you start leading people, you develop those good connections, those deep connections. Look at everything that you're exposed to in your daily walk in leading people. Look at that as though you're seeing it for the very, very first time. But also do yourself a favor. Look at it like you're seeing it for the last time. Not crappy stuff. You want to do that. But the good stuff. Look at it like you're seeing it for the last time. Learn that when you say goodbye, it may be the last time. Cherish it. Feel it. Feel it. Separate the important from the unimportant. Separate those things. You know, there's all kinds of books that are written about smart people that have made money, and I have called "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." You know, all those little vignettes. It's good stuff. Understand it. You've heard me say this before. Learn to laugh at yourself. Perspective. Learn to laugh at yourself. Learn to laugh at your mistakes. Everyone else is laughing at you. Why don't you learn to laugh at yourself at that? And finally, last, as Eric said, not the least, legacy. Legacy. This is important for the youngest person in here to the oldest. Virile, I know, I'm virile, but for the oldest person in here. Everybody. Legacy is the name of it. Choose today, as you walk out the door, as you go into life in the holiday season, choose today, if you haven't, what's the legacy that you're going to leave with people? What are you going to leave with people? How are you going to do it? Because I might have mentioned this earlier in our semester. People will summarize your life in a sentence, maybe two if you're lucky. When it's all said and done. If you put someone to sleep, if someone passed on, and you go to the funeral, it's a morbid subject, bear with me. Most of the time, when you talk to people about that person in that box, they're going to use one line. He's a really good guy. Make that enough. Make your legacy now. What sentence do you want people to say? What sentence? Build your sentence now. Build your sentence now. Thoughts at 60? Life can only be understood backwards. You have to live it forward. No question. No question. Now we're talking about old nerds like me. A guy there named Anthony Campolo says they took a group of geriatrics, older folks, and he did a study. What's part of his study? 50 people over the age of 95. 50 people over the age of 95 years old. Okay? And he asked them one question. He said, if you could live your life over again, you could live your entire life over again, what would you do differently? Open-ended questions. Get 3 responses. Overwhelmingly, 3 responses to that. If I had to do it over again, I'd reflect more. I'd think more. If I had to do it over again, I'd risk more. Take more chances. And if I had to do it over again, I would do more things that would live on after I'm gone. Do more things. See? The worst words that any leader can ever hear. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't make those errors. Be prepared. Love people. Get in the game. Stay